Hello Tubesters, I almost forgot who you were then. One of them days today. Second video. I decided I wasn't going to do an update on the T34. It's still in primer. It's about to, this afternoon, get a coat of paint. But I've done some bits and pieces to it and I've mocked up the armour. That's mocked up, not mucked up. So hopefully it'll look okay to you guys. There's a few bits I've got to add on to the turret. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to do with that yet. I will add those bits on. I will paint those off the tank and then just stick them on. Hopefully they'll stick on. But I thought I'd just give you a quick show and tell of the progress I'm doing and what I'm expecting the tank to look like. So she's down here. Only because I've just done that rambling unboxing of the figures for this tank, so I just thought, well, yeah, I'm just trying to document it, if that makes sense. What's been good about the Facebook page for the build is that I've been taking photographs, and what I'd hoped to do at the end of the whole thing, when I've finally got it down on a little base or something and I've got my figures on, a bit like the Tiger Tank one, is just do a little slideshow. But add the few. I mean, there's not loads. There's a few photographs. Believe me, I can string it out though. You'll be thinking, Gav, there's 6 photos here, and it's just taken me 2 hours to watch it. But yeah, from literally beginning to the end product, which I don't normally do. Not with these. I mean, I might do them with sometimes with painting war games soldiers, or if I'm doing my busts and large scale display figures. Obviously I'll say, oh, we've got this bit done, this bit done. So yeah, that would be interesting to do that, and it's been good. And it's been good watching other people's in photograph form. They only stick 2 or 3 photographs up, and you can see how somebody else is approaching their models and what they're doing, because we all have a different approach. Or we will watch somebody else's and say, oh, that's a good idea, I'll either use that next time, or even that I like that bit of the idea but not that bit, so I'll use that bit. Lots of bits involved there, but you get the picture. So join me at the bench and we'll have a quick look. Right guys, here we are. As I say, yep, she's still in primer. I've got to just give her a bit of a wipe down with some IPA alcohol just to clean all my finger marks off before I put some paint down on her. Although I'm undecided. I think I don't believe I've got any lacquer paint for this, so I'm going to be using the Soviet paint set that I've got from, I believe MIG anyway. So we'll give that a go. Yeah, these are just mocked up. They're only blue tacked on. These will be rubber. So as I keep saying, the conveyor belt type rubber. The pictures I've seen, none seem to be that more knocked up than this. There wasn't huge fray. I have troubled away at bits, obviously you can see, just to show some frayed rubber, but I've not gone to town on it. I've bent it back slightly. What this will have will be a strip of it'll be a plastic card strip, styrene strip, but it'll have a strip down along here. To actually show where they've and it'll have some bolts on where they've bolted it through to the very thin piece here, and that will be bent away. The modeler in the AK book had done that. He, just to show a bit of variation, he'd pulled away some of as if one of the bolts had come away. I thought that was a good idea. That's again, taking somebody else's ideas and making them your own without claiming them to be your own. Yeah, we've got magic putty, whatever it's called, for the sandbags. I've tried to vary sizes and now they've stuck on. I've put a bit of lead wire around just to show they've been tied up behind, and I could have used like copper wire twisted up to show more rope, but I thought the lead wire bends so easy. I know you can do that with the copper wire if you heat it up and anneal it, but I'll just paint that in a rope effect and that's good enough for me, I think, for that. For my mate Beetle, who keeps going on about his Beetles. That Schwimmwagen, it went to the graveyard of kits, but I saved the wheels off it. These are only tacked on, like this one's a bit low here. I've glued on some I-beam, plasticard I-beam, that evergreen stuff. That's been welded on, well, pretend welded on, and these will be fitted. To say that one's a bit low, I'll just put them on for now. They've got to come off in a bit. The only thing I haven't done with those, and I'm still debating it, is obviously because it was these were originally on a vehicle. They've got the wheel nuts and the egg cups at the end for the stub axles and whatever. So that technically isn't right because it's not actually on a vehicle. But you know, do I go drilling all the holes out? I don't know yet. You might find them drilled out. You might find them left there next time you see it. I don't know. So this will also have more armour here and here, maybe at the back as well. Just to thicken it up. I put one sandbag just to show the loader or the gunner was wanting a bit more fake protection. You've got to think there's some very, very tiny slits here. I didn't bother putting the vision blocks in the end. One, though, because they were a bit of a nightmare, and two, you'd never even know they were there. Especially when the figure goes in there, you won't even see that. So I left them out. But these are little vision slits here. So if I put a sandbag here, then yes, he's got his main one up here, but he wouldn't be able to see over the sandbag. So I've left that there. Let me just see if we can get this round. That's what she's going to look like. It's alright, I've got no room. I'm literally on the edge of the desk here, so I'll have to hold the tripod. Yes, I've completely forgot to primer this one. That's me all over. But this is what we're looking at. I've rolled this. I can't remember how thick the plastic card is, the styrene sheet, whatever you want to call it. And again, at the moment they're only tacked on, so they may slightly change and be pulled down further over that one. But I've rolled it slightly. Again, from what I'd seen, and these will have bolts across here, by the way, and at the top piece, because there's I-beam channel again underneath. There's no sandbags underneath this one because you'll never see it, but I've obviously had to put them under these here because you'll see them from the side. So there's sandbags gone in on those. But on these guys, on this sheet here, they were quite, I wouldn't say inflexible, but they literally didn't just flop straight down. They were quite rigid in a way, so I've left that there. And again, around the machine gun, it was quite it was quite ad hoc. It wasn't. Do not expect any neatly cut. And I've tried to go around the edges of some of the sheets as well and just chop them up slightly. Don't expect any neatly cut stuff. They literally just whacked it on, tack welded or whatever. These I-beam. Well, all right then. I've come up with the I-beams. I'm just saying they'd have needed. I've seen wheels just tied up to anything that happened to have. They could put a grab rail on or something like that. And obviously a lot of these Soviet tanks had grab rails. So I've seen wheels and tyres just tied onto them. But I've also seen these, and literally from other conflicts around the world where they have welded things like I-beams and bits of metal on, just enough to then weld on or tie on wheel rims, sometimes with tyres on, sometimes without, whatever they could get really, anything to try and stop the the penetrating of the actual turret itself. So there you go. Let me move this into non-wobbly mode. It's coming along, as I say. I'm now going to be spraying it black, in not all over, just in the deepest recesses, which there are a lot of on this tank now. So in between the sandbags, anywhere where the deep shadows are. It's not going to be really a black on white or a white on black type of paint job. It's just painting black into all the shadow areas and then probably just putting a base coat over. This one is going to be quite faded, and I'm undecided yet until I get my paints out. I'm undecided whether that's going to be faded right from the start with paint, or whether I fade it out with oils or weathering pencils or something. So it's a test bed. I've said all along, you know, for the next couple of years, everything I do is never going to be perfect. You know, I like to get things as good as I can do them at my skill level at the time, and I'm a long way down the pecking order of model builders. So it really is just a case of learning as I go. So a lot of my stuff is going to be looking all right maybe from a distance, and you look and you get close to it and you think, oh, there's something wrong there and that's not right, you know. But for the next couple of years and the last couple of years, it really is just a learning curve, but enjoying it at the same time. You know, this isn't a chore. I've enjoyed. I am a military builder and painter. I've actually got the Chevy, by the way, on its wheels, and I'm going to stick on the wing mirrors and stuff on it later on tonight after I finish painting commission painting, and then I shall have hopefully a video for that over the weekend. She's finally done. So that was a chore. I liked the. Here we go. Hang on a second. I am not editing that out. No way. It's that was a chore. I like the subject, but I am a military builder, and I get more enjoyment out of doing. That's not saying I won't do other things. I think you improve yourself when you take on other subjects outside your comfort zone. But I really do get a kick on doing military subjects, whether it's sea, air, and land. You know, I'm not really fussed. So guys, thanks a lot. I'm starting to waffle as usual. Look after yourselves, and we'll be along very, very soon with another video.